Right, we've had a look at the way this works in a few different keys, and perhaps you've started to see a pattern emerging. In every case, we're alternating from the normal bass note to a note one string lower, but on the same fret. In the case of C, we went from the bass note on the 3rd fret of the 5th string to a note on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. One string lower, but on the same fret. When we did it in A minor, the normal bass note was on the open 5th string, and we alternated to the open 6th string. Again, one string lower, but on the same fret. You can think of open strings as fret 0, if you like. And again with D, we alternated the same way, this time from the open 4th string to the open 5th. One string lower, but on the same fret. Now that's obviously quite easy to remember and simple to do. But you're probably wondering what you do when you've got a chord with its bass note on the 6th string. Obviously you can't move down a string to alternate the bass, as you're already on the lowest string. Well, let's have a look at a couple of examples. Here's a well-known chord with its bass note on the 6th string, G. Well, the 5th of G is G, A, B, C, D. And now we need to find a low D on the guitar. The lowest D is the open 4th string. So for this chord, we're just going to alternate from the 6th string to the open 4th. And that's going to work for G or G7 or any other G-type chord you're likely to play down here. Let's look at another example, this time E. We already know that the 5th of E is B, and it so happens that there's a perfectly good B here on the 2nd fret of the 5th string. So all we need to do is to alternate from the open 6th string to the 2nd fret of the 5th, which is a note that you're already playing in the E shape. Now that move from the open 6th to the 2nd fret of the 5th string will be fine for E, E7, E minor, or any kind of E chord here. So, we've had a look at G chords and E chords, and the good news is that these are the only chords you're likely to play across all 6 strings. Surely not, you say. What about all my bar chords? Well, here's F. And that's a 6-string chord. But, if you think about it, it's simply an E shape, barred on the 1st fret. So the rule that we had for E would apply equally well here. Alternate from the 6th string to the 5th string. And while we're talking about bar chords, if you've got a 5-string bar chord, like this C here for instance, the bass note would be on the 5th string, but because it's based on an A shape, you'll do what you would do for an A-shaped chord that you weren't barring. 5 to 6, 5 to 6, barred up here, 5 to 6, 5 to 6. To recap then, alternate between the normal bass note and one string lower on the same fret. Except where you're playing a 6-string chord, but then you're either playing an E chord, so move from string 6 to string 5, or else you're playing a G chord, in which case alternate from string 6 to string 4. That's it. It really is that simple. Where this won't work is where the chord you're playing has some kind of altered fifth, like a diminished chord or an augmented chord, a flat 5 chord, and so on. But for any standard major or minor chords, this will serve you really well. Now, finally, let's have a look at a few places where you might want to use this alternating bass technique. Try this strumming pattern, for instance. Or this picking pattern. Or maybe something like this. Okay, well that's it. I do hope you find that useful. Next time you want to spice up a strumming pattern or a picking pattern, you'll have one more technique to help make the music go a little further. Many thanks for watching. Be sure to check out some of our other videos too. Goodbye.